Not millions, not even billions, but tens of billions, maybe even hundreds of billions of dollars lost to fraud since a record number of Americans lost their jobs due to COVID-19. In these difficult times, it's hard to see any light at the end of the tunnel, but there are some. Browsing for opportunities, weaving a web to catch prey, to identify with those still in the dark about their financial future. Angie Payne is facing that uncertainty, made more complicated by the fact that Ohio is notifying her. But she lives in Shelbyville, Kentucky.
I'm like, I've never worked in Ohio, never lived in Ohio.
So her conclusion:
I have no doubt that my identity was stolen.
And she knows it happened early on in the pandemic.
I was noticing my count looked kind of off
when she filed for unemployment in Kentucky and later spoke with a UI specialist.
And she's like, yeah, that check that you requested has been issued. I said, I never received it. She said, well, it has on here you work at Popeyes. Never worked at Popeyes in my life.
And there's never been a time like this.
This is the largest cyber attack in terms of fraud in American history, and it's not even close.
A global heist of personal information for impersonations of people who really need help.
My name is Blake Hall, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of ID.me.
Hall says he and his identity verification tech company, ID.me, have already contracted with 24 states.
We're blocking about $1 billion in fraud per week across our state partners.
Clearly, that kind of money adds up to a major ongoing cyber crisis. In fact, in a recent report to Congress, the U.S. Labor Department estimated that 10%, or $36 billion of $360 billion in CARES Act money meant for unemployment relief, would be lost or stolen by last November. And that was a conservative projection.
The number is closer to $200 billion of fraud. Almost half of the total payments that have been made right now have been fraudulent.
That's consistent with the Kentucky Labor Cabinet's prior statements that of the tens of thousands of unemployment claims remaining unresolved, more than half, they believe, are fraudulent.
That's one good thing that the system does. It's good at flagging those.
Hall would argue states may be underestimating the infiltrators.
We're in the fourth or fifth inning.
Hackers have set up cyber compounds overseas, he says.
These rings realize that you could turn one identity into about $20,000.
And they're especially looking for easy targets.
What they care about is which state pays out the fastest, which state pays out the most generous kind of weekly benefits, and then maybe which state has the weakest controls.
Hall points out the chatter on the dark web.
They're talking about which states don't use ID.me. How do you bypass ID.me in states that do use ID.me?
Indiana is one of those states, agreeing to pay $4 per verified identity over a 2-year contract. Kentucky, however, told Focus it feels it already has effective controls in place. Tell that to Angie Payne, who dealt with the pain of filling out this affidavit, as well as a police report. Since then, she's received 2 1099-Gs from Kentucky, and now her claim is drained.
For some reason, my account's been totally wiped zero.
Which is especially worrisome because the 50-year-old will need unemployment. In the coming weeks, her plant supervisor job is moving to Tennessee, but she is not.
You work all your life to get to where you are today, and then have it all taken away just like that so quickly. It's scary.
And Angela Payne says Kentucky needs to do a much better job at protecting unemployment filers. Comprehensive protections, Blake Hall of ID.me says, must be part of the plan for the next stimulus package. For Focus, I'm John Charlton.